Let's get into Bohemian Grove. Let's get into the technocracy. Let's get into who runs things. It's Bohemian Grove's what they call it that. They've got this ritual. So I'm sitting there during the ritual, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. The dude goes, shut up, I'll kill you. And they're all taking it very seriously. And they were taking it very serious. This hearse comes in with the body of a child. It is an effigy. They're not killing it.
And well, it's just a bundle of sticks, right?
Yeah, well, it looks like a kid. No, later, others infiltrated later that worked there and got us photos of it. It's an image of a kid.
Look at that. Look at that owl god, and look at the fire underneath the owl god.
And there's Ronald Reagan, and I knew that he was part of the actual ritual at Bohemian Grove.
But that's from the Bible, is you would sacrifice a child to Moloch.
Give not your children to the fires of Moloch.
Right. Listen, you could ignore that if it was like a bunch of poor people in the woods doing that. These guys
even then I'd be worried.
Even then it would be weird. These guys are the top of like every industry in America. It's at least curious.
Shalom, shalom. HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great MILLSTONE who teach me well. Peace and salutations be to hopeful elect. I'm Brother Tazom Gabar coming at you from the Prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. I'm just going to be a lesson going into Bohemian Grove. Alright, it's going to be exposing this devil's secrets because you got this video where Alex Jones is going into it, talking about what they do and how weird it is. Well, you go into, researching Bohemian Grove. First, let's get this article on Bohemian Grove to see what it really is. It says Bohemian Grove is a restricted 2,700-acre campground at 20601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California, United States. So look at that. LA is also in California, United States, man. That's where they do the peak of their witchcraft. That's where they do all their sorceries and shit, man. Belonging to a private San Francisco-based gentleman's club known as the Bohemian Club. Mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts a more than 2-week encampment of some of the most prominent men in the world. Alright, so it's an encampment. These guys are going out camping and shit, man. They even got the coordinates. Annual attendance is about 2,500. 2,700 acres, that's a lot of acres. That's a lot of land. It says the Bohemian Club's all-male membership includes artists and musicians, as well as many prominent business leaders, government officials, former U.S. presidents, senior media executives, and people of power. You gotta ask yourself something. What are all these guys doing camping in the woods? What are all these guys that have leadership and rulership over the world and an influence on the world? What are they doing camping in the woods, man? What business have they in the woods camping? Think about it. When you think about camping, you go out there and you fucking light a fire over a campfire. You light a campfire, you got tents, you sit on logs, and you tell spooky stories over the fire and roast marshmallows or some shit. Make s'mores and tell stories. What are these guys doing over the fire in the campfire, in the woods, man? Where they go a certain time every year, and it's a certain club, and you gotta have a membership. It says members may invite guests to the Grove. Guests may be invited to the Grove for either the Spring Jinx in June or the May and July encampment. Bohemian Club members can schedule private day use events at the Grove anytime it's not being used for club-wide purposes. They're lying, and they are allowed at these times to bring spouses, family, and friends, although female and minor guests must be off the property by 9 or 10 p.m. Why? Because they do sacrifices here, man. After 40 years of membership, meaning after 40 years of doing sorceries and sacrifices and witchcraft, it says the men earn old guard status, giving them reserved seating at the Grove's daily tasks, as well as other prerequisites. Meaning what? They're professional sacrifices. They're professional warlocks, man. These guys are, they've been in the game, man. They know what it is. They know what to do. You got newcomers that go there and they're just like, it's nothing new. In order to keep their status, they got to do these things. They got to go there and sacrifice into Moloch. It's like if you can hear the winds. I'm in the middle of this hurricane, and the wind is breezing through my front door. It's really powerful winds. But through the spirit of YAHAWASHI will be all right, man. So it says, former U.S. President Herbert Hoover was inducted into the Old Guard on March 19, 1953. He had joined the club exactly 40 years prior. So you see that these guys, even these presidents, you know, they're into this witchcraft and sorceries and child sacrifice. The guy said, Alex Jones said they brought out, you know, because Alex Jones was there. He was brought as a guest, but he said they brought out a dummy which was made of sticks, but it looked like a kid. It was shaped like a kid, you know, and they burnt this thing, and, you know, they, you know, dancing around it, whatever it may be, but they were, sending up sacrifices, you know, to keep their kingdom and rulership. And this is Esau's sorceries and witchcraft that they do, man, you know, in order to maintain the things that they have. Well, let me grab the scriptures. This book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So, like this guy was saying, many people that be there are owners of majority of the industries that govern the United States today, man. So he's beginning to understand the people that rule this world are wicked. He began to understand Job 9 and 24 a little better. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? This guy is, he's painted himself to be in the image of the Lord, in the image of the angels. When you look up the names in the Bible, you know, since they were translated to this devil's language, when you look up those names in the scriptures, you get what? You get people that look like Edomites. People, you know, like Michael the Archangel. It's gonna look like an Edomite baby with wings, man. And this is their way of covering the faces of the judges thereof, man. I grabbed this in Revelations. So this is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Because what? It's a scam, man. It's a fake. It's an illusion. Babylon's rulership is all an illusion. They gotten it through wickedness and sorceries. You know, that's why you go outside, look at a fair woman, and she has on makeup. It's an illusion. Take that makeup off, she can be a whole fucking dude. You know, take that makeup off, she can be, you know, a solid -10. You know, this place is an illusion. All the things that stem from it, it's just, it's illusionary. It's according to lusts and witchcraft, man. So it says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And what they doing at Bohemian Grove, Salakia, they're doing their sorceries. You know, they decide what we gonna do next. Yeah, let's go fuck with Iran. You know, they're also deciding what they're gonna do to the people. What's the next big scheme on the people? What's the next big device that we're going to accomplish over the people? You know, and then they put it out on the news. They achieve a lot of their sorceries and witchcraft through the news, man, because that's where it's being broadcasted to many people. Their agenda, what they want people to believe, how they want people to act and feel. Oh, evacuate! This is about to happen. Evacuate! You know, they strike fear into the people. You know, such things as those to control the people. You know, they say fear is a good control method. If someone fears you, it's easier to control them. So that's how Esau operates, man. You know. I got this. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord, YAHAWASHI, your power. And this is what the sellouts of our people are doing. which I'll probably do a part 2, aside from Bohemian Grove, to go into the cells of our people, Lord willing, man. But this is what the 2/3. A lot of people that are famous, that are Jake, this is what they do, and they go into these people and seek after them. What are they doing when they want to be famous? When they want to go to Hollywood, they're seeking after wizards and witchcraft and witches and people and those that have familiar spirits to be defiled by them. You know, that's why they tell you. I'm gonna get into it on the next lesson, but we're gonna stick to the topic here. It says Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And the Lord ain't going to suffer these Edomites to live because they're the biggest witch and wizards in the earth, man. You know, he ain't going to suffer them to live much longer, man. Okay, because it's commanded that they shouldn't. Let's grab this in the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 33. And verse. Let me open up this whole chapter real quick. If it lets me open this chapter. Okay, so it says Manasseh, Second Chronicles chapter 33, verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 50 years in Jerusalem. So, but did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord YAHAWASHI, like unto the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. Okay, so he was doing what? He was taking after the ways of the heathen. And what do the heathen do? They worship these pagan gods, and they do witchcraft and sorceries because they're heathens. They don't have, YAHAWASHI is not their power. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down, and he reared up altars for Baalim and made groves. Oh, look at that. What is Bohemian Grove? You know, it's a grove. It says, and made groves and worshipped all the host of heaven and served them. It says, also he built altars in the house of the Lord YAHAWASHI, whereof the Lord YAHAWASHI had said, in Jerusalem shall my name be forever. And he built altars for all the host of heaven in the 2 courts of the house of the Lord YAHAWASHI. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. So what are they doing? They're using children to pass through the fire, because the children would be a sacrifice. You know, you sacrifice a child. Usually they're virgins. You know, they haven't had much crime on their hands they've done, or much evil that they've done. You know, they can still be influenced one way or another. So it's like they're a blank canvas, I should say. And they're using these newly, because they're newer beings, they're using these children as sacrifices, and they're passing them through the fire and sending them up as sacrifices. And this is the things that the heathens believe in. This is what they do, They believe that these children are innocent, and they believe that they're a whole sacrifice because they're innocent, so-called. But we know that a lot of these children, they carry their sins from their past lives. So it says, not a lot, but all of these children carry their sins from their past lives. It says, also he observed times and used enchantments and used witchcraft and dealt with a familiar spirit and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord YAHAWASHI to provoke him to anger. So these things are evil in the sight of the Lord, and it provokes him to anger. So you shouldn't be doing these things, because this is the things that the Edomites do. They go in Bohemian Grove and they do this shit. It's plain to see that this is evil in the sight of the Lord, man. Now I'll grab that commandment that says, because you got Jake doing this now, following after the ways of the heathen. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 21, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire of pass through the fire to Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Lord, YAHAWASHI. And you had this one tweet that Hillary Clinton, tweeted, talking about sacrificing the chicken to Moloch, which is Molech. And chicken is code word for a child. I think it was a young boy or a child, same thing, really. But she was talking about sacrificing a chicken to Molech. And this is what these people do, and they make it plain and obvious. They put it in front of your face, and you laugh about it because you don't believe it. But these people, you gotta understand something. Jake is used to flattery. They're used to sarcasm because Jake does these things. They're used to roasting, whatever they want to call it, or bullshitting. These are the kind of things Jake are used to. But these Edomites are serious when they're doing these things. They're not, playing sarcasm. They're not bullshitting. They're not roasting. They aren't, they're not playing around. Although they may say it with a smile on their face, they're dead ass serious. Yeah, they sacrifice children. Yeah, they worship devils and Satan. Yeah, they sold their souls. Things of these natures. And you got Jake that are trying to be big in this world, trying to be a famous rapper, famous ball player, whatever. These niggas selling out too, because what? They got to in order to be something in Esau's world. It says, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Lord. So by doing this, you're profaning the name of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. It says, thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind, it is abomination. This is something that they also do at these nasty-ass gatherings that they do, man. They get together and they do really, really sick shit. And this keeps them going. As to touching the Bohemian Grove, let me see if I can grab the definition of this. Look at this, man. I just jumped to the bottom of the article of Bohemian Grove. It says, the Bohemian Grove, which I attend from time to time, it is the most faggy goddamned thing you could ever imagine, with that San Francisco crowd. Okay, so when you go into the definition of the word faggy, we know what that means, man, but we just want to make sure. It says characteristic of or like a gay man. It says adjective, offensive for, and North American. That's a North American word, and California is over here in North America. So, like we just brought out in the scriptures, this is what they're doing over there in Bohemian Grove. A lot of weird, fruitcake shit. Alex Jones is probably over there too, doing that shit. Trying to act like he wasn't. He done exposed everything but that part. But what goes down there, man. What goes down. It's a male membership. It's a male club. It's for men. It's why women gotta be gone. Minors gotta be gone. It's for men. At least they call themselves men. But they over there really turning each other out, man. That's really all I had on that, man. I did worshiping that owl. There was an owl. And there's a fire underneath the owl. And that's what they put the kids through and burn them damn kids, man. They drink kids' blood. They do all kinds of sick shit. But through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you, Akim and Agwathi, may listen in true sincerity. Until next time, Yeshua, I do say shalom.